The We Are Wakefield podcast is brought to you in partnership with Podmatic. Welcome to the We Are Wakefield podcast, episode 5. It's a very special episode. We're joined by Orchard Head Junior Infant and Nursery School, and it's a school takeover. So I'm going to be at the other side of the interview for this episode. So I'm a little bit more nervous than I usually am recording this podcast, I've got to say, because I'm going to be the one answering the questions. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Phoebe and Lynn from Orchard Head. So girls, it's over to you.
Hello and welcome to the We Are Wakefield podcast, where we explore how businesses work and learn from some of the most successful entrepreneurs out there in the local area.
Today, Orchard Head Junior Infant and Nursery School will be taking over the podcast and we'll be finding out more about Claire Sutherley. We are your hosts.
I'm Phoebe.
And I'm Lynn.
Welcome, Claire. Thank you for having us on today's podcast. We are so grateful to have this opportunity.
You're very welcome. I'm really excited that you're here today. Thank you.
It'd be great to dive into asking more about your life and your role in We Are Wakefield. Shall we get started?
We shall. Go ahead.
Brilliant. Firstly, could you explain to the listener and us what your role is in We Are Wakefield and the role that you serve for West Yorkshire?
Yes, so my role in We Are Wakefield, my official title, if you like, is Managing Director. And that means I oversee the running of the organisation. So We Are Wakefield is a not-for-profit organisation, which means all the money that's generated into the business goes straight back in for the benefit of our members. So I make sure that we run amazing events for all our members who are businesses and charities and schools, and make sure that they can all get together once a month to see how they can support each other and collaborate with each other, and amazing things happen from that. And then I look after all our members and I run the business behind the scenes as well. So I wear many hats in my role as Managing Director of We Are Wakefield, and oversee and make sure that the business runs properly and the members of We Are Wakefield get the very best out of it that they can.
That sounds amazing. What a career. It would be great to find out more about what got you to where you are today.
Okay, what would you like to know?
How about we start off with some questions by topic.
Okay.
Let's move on to your career.
What made you choose this specific job?
Well, I kind of got here by accident, really. So we had a family business for over 20 years, and that ended in 2019. It was a horrible time for me and the rest of the family that were involved. So obviously when that happened, I had to find something else. Still needed a job. So I went to work for a training provider in Leeds very briefly, and then a job at Wakefield Council supporting businesses. I really wanted to do something that could support people who run businesses, because it's a really difficult thing to do. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of pressure. And it can be a really lonely place as well when you're running a business. So I wanted to be in a role where I could support others that hopefully wouldn't have to go through what I went through with the family business when that ended so suddenly. So it was really to use my experience that I gained over the past 20 odd years to support others, and hopefully make life as a business owner or a business leader a little bit easier, and so other people could feel supported.
That's really interesting. So what is your favourite part of your job?
I think my favourite part of the job is seeing the members work together. So when we have the big events on the first Friday of every month, all our members get together, and just seeing the laughter in the room, seeing how people are getting to know each other and having amazing conversations, and then seeing what support for each other comes out of that and how amazing collaborations happen. So my favourite word with We Are Wakefield is collaboration, and that's seeing our members work together and helping each other grow and thrive. So when I see the results of members getting together and the magic that happens from that, that's my favourite bit. That's job satisfaction right there.
That sounds amazing. Moving on to the next question. Which experience in your career have you enjoyed the most so far?
Oh, that's a really good question, because there are so many. So many great things have happened in this role at We Are Wakefield in the last few years. I think one of the standout moments for me was probably the Wakefield Business Awards last year. So it was the third year that we ran that event, and it's an event that we have at the end of every year now in November to celebrate success in Wakefield. So it's an opportunity for businesses and organisations to enter the awards, tell us the amazing success stories, and celebrate their success. And then it all comes together at an amazing event in November at Tileyard North, a beautiful venue in Wakefield. And it's just an amazing party where everyone gets together and celebrates. And it was the biggest event yet last year. It's growing every year as we develop the event. And when the evening came to an end, everyone had got their awards, and everyone just kicked off the heels and got on the dance floor and had a good boogie. That was, I think, a key moment for me, where I just kind of looked around and thought, this is what it's all about. It's fantastic.
That sounds really cool.
It was cool, yeah. And we're looking forward to doing it again this November. So, yeah.
Now, what pivotal moment has led you to be where you are now?
I think the pivotal moment was when the business failed, the family business in 2019. That was a real turning point for me, because I'd been in that job, in that business for over 20 years. So I'd grown up in that business really and developed as an adult. So I joined the business when I think I was 20 years old. I definitely remember celebrating my 21st birthday when I was in the business. So it was definitely before that. And then in the blink of an eye, we were 25 years later, and things weren't going so well. And when that came to an end for a few reasons, a culmination of a few things caused it. But for me, it was I don't know what I'm going to do now. It was a really difficult, sad time, really stressful time. But I knew that I wanted to do something to help others. So that was the pivotal point for me. It meant that I knew I had a way somewhere to get to a point where I could support other businesses. I'd learnt so much, and I didn't want that to go to waste. So that is definitely a turning point for me.
Wow, that was great. What interested you most about being a part of your family business?
Oh gosh, well, it's not always easy being part of a family business, I've got to say, because you bring family problems into the business and business problems into the family. So it's no bed of roses, if I'm perfectly honest with you. It's great because it gives you the flexibility. So I had two children. I have two children, but they're grown up now, but they were kids at the time. So I had things like the school run to do in the mornings, and the pick up in the evenings, and all sorts in between that, that demands you have as a mum. So it was really great for that, in that I had the flexibility to be a mum as well as be part of the business. We had some great times together as a family in the business, but also some tough times as well. So yeah, I think the flexibility element of it really, and the satisfaction of growing something together, that was quite nice as well.
That sounds great. Now, I'm sure our listeners will want to know about your resilience, Claire. So, were there any moments in your career where you felt like you just wanted to give up?
Definitely not now, although, it's very busy, this job, very busy. And sometimes you think, goodness me, I don't know, I'm going to get everything done, and there are never enough hours in a day. So I think resilience, it comes in many, many forms, really. So resilience about powering through and making sure that you get things done when they need to be done. And when you commit to something, making sure that you follow it through. But I think resilience, as in overcoming difficulties and barriers, I think it's important that you always just try your best. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, but by making sure that you're determined to achieve what you set out to achieve, and you keep that focus, and you don't let things stand in your way. And that can be you. Sometimes you can stand in your own way. You can doubt yourself, or have wobbles, if you like, where sometimes you think, oh goodness me, I don't know how I'm going to do this, or I don't know if it's going to be good enough. But having that resilience to power on through, and that focus on the main cause, so knowing that you're doing something good in what you're doing, that helps you be a little bit more resilient as well.
Such wonderful advice. Now, we all know that many people have many inspiring people who they look up to as a person. Do you have any inspiring people that maybe helped you to keep going and to get to where you are today?
Absolutely. I mean, as I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandma, probably more time at my grandma's than I did at home, if I'm honest, because she was a great cook, and she did lots of great baking, and she worked in a chocolate factory. What's not to love about a grandma like that? So, always special treats at grandma's house. But she was a very hard-working lady, and I saw her be determined in everything she did. She was passionate about looking after her family. If she wanted to do anything, she wouldn't rely on anyone else. She would just roll up her sleeves and get on with it. And she had an amazing work ethic. And I think that I took a lot of inspiration from that. And that taught me that if you want anything in life, you work hard for it. You don't take it for granted that it'll land in your lap, or that someone else will do it for you. So I took a lot of inspiration from her, and it was the most devastating time in my life when we lost her in 2019. It was around the time that the business went as well. So that was a really challenging few months, actually. But again, that resilience that she put into me, really. So we'll go back to that word resilience. I think I got a lot of that from her. So she was a massive inspiration to me, when I was growing up, and then as an adult as well. Taught me that hard work benefits you, and not to rely on other people, just to crack on and do it yourself if you want anything. But then I have people around me at the moment that inspire me all the time. So some great friends, some great work colleagues, part of the We Are Wakefield team. I work with Gillian every day, who's an amazing lady, and really supports me in my role. People like Helen and Sylvie, who are on our board at We Are Wakefield, and the rest of the team there. They inspire me because they're very, very strong women, actually. And yeah, I take inspiration from the work that they do every day as well. Yeah.
They all sound very inspiring. Do you have any advice for people who are struggling with resilience and self-confidence?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all do at times. And I think when I came into school last time, we talked a little bit about imposter syndrome, didn't we? Where sometimes you feel you're not good enough for something. And we all feel like that sometimes. I think it's natural. You've got to not let that stand in your way. You've got to think, well, actually, I'm here for a reason. I'm doing this for a reason, like you today. You've been chosen to do this for a reason because you worked hard, your questions were amazing. So you got the opportunity to come and sit in this podcast today. So whenever you're feeling a little bit down maybe, or a little bit lacking in confidence or low self-esteem, just think back to a time when actually, no, I did amazing with that. And I'm very capable. And I can do things that I set my mind to. Might take a little bit of guts and a little bit of pushing yourself, but it pays off in the end. So don't worry about what other people think or what you think other people are going to say. If you've got that determination, then don't let a lack of self-confidence hold you back. Have a go at anything, because if you try, that's all that matters, and you can achieve amazing things from trying.
I think that's amazing, and I think many people would feel the same. But do you have anything that like motivated you? Like maybe not something, but maybe someone who motivated you the most to get to where you are today and to get rid of that feeling that you're just not good enough?
Yeah, I mean that's a really good question actually, because when I was in the family business, I felt quite isolated. I felt that I didn't really have anyone to talk to and to share problems with. And now I surround myself with people who I can talk to and share problems with, and they can share their problems with me. So it's very much a two-way street. And it's called peer support. So if you can find a good set of people who you know have got your back, and you know that you can speak to sometimes confidentially, and who will respect your privacy but also support you in things that you do and give you honest advice and honest feedback, they're the people that you need to surround yourself with. And that's what I'm very careful to do now. I make sure that I've got that peer support around me. So if I've got any worries or any problems or any challenges, or even an idea that I want to run past someone, so a sounding board maybe, I make sure that I've got those trusted people around me to support me. And that's the key, I think, to doing things well, and again, going back to resilience, having those people around you to help you get through things.
That's really moving, Claire. Now I'm going to hand over to Lottie and Thomas, who are going to ask you more about your early life and interests.
Well, Phoebe and Lynn, thank you. That's been amazing. Some great questions there. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Save the date for the Wakefield Business Awards on November the 13th at Tileyard North. Tickets on sale August.
Hello, we are your hosts of Part 2 of We Are Wakefield. I'm your host, Lottie.
And I'm your host, Thomas.
And today we are interviewing Claire Sutherley. We are wanting to get started on some early life and interest questions. Is that all right?
That's fine. Go ahead.
What were your interests and hobbies when you were younger?
Oh gosh, okay. So I'm from Castleford, and when you're from Castleford, if you cut me in half, it'd probably be black and amber. So I love my rugby. So I've always been an avid rugby league supporter, and I used to be at Cast Tigers week in, week out when I was younger. Didn't live far away from the ground, and actually when I was about 6 or 7, where we lived, if you looked out of my bedroom window, you could actually see what they call the jungle now, the Cast Tigers ground. And you could definitely hear the crowd on match day as well. So it wasn't far to walk. I used to go down with my granddad when I was really young, and then with friends as I got older. So I loved my rugby league, to the point where I did some coaching. So I was probably one of the first women actually in the country to do my rugby league coaching qualifications. Girls weren't allowed to play back then. There weren't any girls teams, because it was about 100 years ago, obviously. So we're going back a bit, and it's all changed now, thank goodness. So because I couldn't play, I watched my brother play, and I thought, well, I could get involved coaching, so I did a bit of that. And I've always been interested in music, so I've always loved pop music and gone to lots of concerts and things like that. And then Sort of in later years, running. Really, I've always enjoyed doing my exercise and getting some runs under my belt. So yeah.
Did you have a desired job in mind at high school?
I did, and it came from the rugby stuff, really. So I wanted to be a sports journalist, and I watched an amazing lady called Helen Rollason present Grandstand, which is still on, I think, on the BBC. And it was a Saturday sports programme that covered all the sporting action of the day, of the week. And it covered all different sports, football, rugby, whatever was going on at the time. But she was the first female presenter of Grandstand, and I thought that's the job I want right there. So I always loved English at school. That was my favourite subject. So I liked writing. Um, in high school, I had the opportunity to do media studies, GCSE. So I pursued that, and we covered all sorts of different types of media within that couple of years, and I was really interested in doing that. So I wanted to be a sports journalist. I applied to go to university to do sports journalism and got my place, but things didn't work out quite the way I wanted, and I didn't end up going. But yeah, I wanted to be a sports journalist, so I think that's why I probably do things like this podcast now, because it gets that inner journalist out of me. So I really love chatting to people and getting to know more about them, and the podcast's a great platform for that.
Wow, that's really inspiring. And also, it's the fact that you said that you was the first woman in the country to be a rugby coach.
Maybe not the first. I can't prove that, but probably one of the first. There weren't many doing it at the time. Yeah.
It's a shame that you didn't become a sports journalist, but it's still happy. It's still good that you became one of these. It's still good that you became a We Are Wakefield member.
That's right, yeah. So it's your pathway leads you funny ways, doesn't it? So although I didn't get to do what I wanted to do when I was younger, I feel that my paths brought me here for a reason, and I couldn't wish to do a better job now. I absolutely love my job.
What helps your mental health? Do you have any interests or hobbies that you enjoy nowadays?
Yeah, I still do my running when I can, and I feel that I put the world to rights when I go for a run. I like to get off early morning and get it out of the way, and it clears my head, and it sets me up. I feel great for the day if I've been out for a run. And reading. So I read quite a lot of books. Probably not as much as I should because I'm very, very busy, but I try and get a few pages in every night before I go to sleep. It helps me switch off. So yeah, running and reading, I think, are the main things, and just trying to have some downtime. I've got two cats, so I like sort of fussing the cats and playing with the cats at home. But yeah, just anything that can help me switch off and relax after a busy day, really.
That sounds great. Now we are going to move on to quick fire round questions.
Oh goodness, okay.
Would you rather have the job you have now or be a sports journalist?
Oh, the job I have now, I think.
What was your family business called?
It was called Vanguard Security Services Limited.
Why did you work in the family business?
Oh, it was by accident. I fell into it. I was leaving a job in a bank, going to another job in a bank, and they needed some help desperately. So I ended up going there for what I thought was going to be 2 weeks, and it ended up being over 20 years.
Where is your favourite place to eat?
My favourite place to eat, goodness me. It's, oh gosh, I'm going to get into trouble because it's not actually in Wakefield. My favourite place to eat is a place called Manor House in Lynn in Huddersfield, and we go there for a very, very special treat. So birthdays and things, but there are some great places in Wakefield. I love Hakan, that's Sofra, the Turkish restaurant in Wakefield. And I love Cubana in Wakefield as well. Tapas, that's one of my favourites.
And finally, the best quickfire question we're going to ask you today.
Oh gosh, okay.
What are you having for tea tonight?
What am I having for tea tonight? Goodness me, I don't know, because my daughter's cooking tea tonight. She's in charge. I think I saw some salmon in the fridge this morning. So whenever the rest of them are having chicken, because I'm not a big chicken fan, I usually get some fish. So probably salmon and some nice veggies, I think, for tea tonight. But good question.
Perfect things to wrap up on. Thank you so much, Claire, for answering our questions today. It has taught us and inspired us in a lot of different ways.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure, and you've inspired me as well. You've all done amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the We Are Wakefield podcast.
Yes, thank you for having us today and sharing your journey. We've learned so much.
And thank you for listening along at home. Be sure to tune in next time for more insights and from entrepreneurs and leaders in all sorts of industries.
Make sure the 13th of November is in your calendar for the Wakefield Business Awards at Tileyard North. Tickets go on sale August 2025.